But here in Australia, we remain an outlier when it comes to trans madness. And here's another example. Parents of kindergarten-aged children in Queensland are being asked if they want they-them pronouns for their 4-year-olds. Douglas, there you go, non-binary 4-year-olds. How do parents combat this activism?
No, I mean, the first thing is, of course, that you seize exactly the right term there, Rita. It's a social contagion. There may be a very tiny number of people, probably are, as I've always said, a very, very tiny number of people who genuinely suffer from gender dysphoria. But most of what we have seen in recent years has been a social contagion, which has been fueled by several things. One, of course, is by the media, but more importantly, it's been the social contagion pushed where it's been deemed to be bad to be a man, to be bad to be heterosexual,
Mm.
to be bad to be white, and if you add all of those things together, then if you are somebody who is, I mean, it's the same. It's the same to a certain degree with women as well, but they've got sort of one little niche more on some of the social justice hierarchy, pyramid, grievance in some people's views, unless you have conservative views, obviously, in which case you're back to being a non-woman again. But just bear with me for a moment. The point is that if you deem these things to all be bad, you will encourage some people to try to find a place on the victim hierarchy pyramid. And identifying as genderqueer, non binary, and so on has been in recent years clearly one of the ways in which some young people have tried to do that. If you add on to that the fact that many of them have literally been miseducated into believing that, for instance, sex is a spectrum and we're all on a sort of,
Mm.
slippery slope. We can go up or down, and sometimes you're a bit male, and sometimes in the afternoon after a cup of tea you're a bit female, and that anyone cares. That's the other thing, and that not just anyone cares, that everybody should care. Of course, some people are going to try to tick that box. It's just very interesting,
Mm.
this stat, Rita, that shows not only a halving of the number of people identifying as, gender non-conforming and so on. In some places, it falls by 2/3. I think a lot of people
Yeah.
have just realized that all that stuff was the peak of what was sometimes called wokeism. It was the peak of the social justice hierarchy, intersectionalism thing. And thank goodness, maybe we're starting to see it in the rear view mirror finally. As you say, apart from in Australia, I would say to the parents of any parent who sends their kids to a kindergarten like that, teach the children to read and to know what a noun is and a verb is, and so on, before you instruct them on what a pronoun is. Maybe wait till they're 18 to talk about that, the gender crazy, or at some point later, but teach them reading and writing first, because those are the things that are going to be skills in their lives. And all of this pronoun stuff, apart from being uniquely boring and so on, it is a way to just avoid doing anything real in the world. Obsess about what pronouns you put in the bio, and then you don't have to do any work that day. I really hope that Australia stops being the outlier it is at the moment on this issue.
Douglas Murray, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Great pleasure as always.